Yeah. Thanks a lot, Sashwat. I want to give an idea from a city planner's point of view how cities worldwide can become more resilient towards crises like the pandemic that we're facing at the moment. Looking at the numbers when handling this current crisis, Germany obviously did a good job so far. The emphasis is really so far. I'm not a health expert, but it made me thinking how city planning and spatial planning in Germany can support this success. I want to share 3 success factors with you, plus 1 visionary success factor for the future, how to make cities COVID-19 resilient. So the first success factor is territorial planning and decentralization. I'm sharing with you 3 slides on how Germany has anchored the establishment of higher public infrastructure in its planning legislation. These maps are done by a similar organization like TCPO, so that you get an idea. It is a big problem if large areas of the country's territory are unconsidered for good infrastructure or simply left behind and forgotten. It becomes very hard in times of crisis to take care of the people that live in such forgotten areas. Germany is a highly decentralized country. With the help of maps like the one that you see, Germany plans the requirement infrastructure in a multi-scale approach and links this also to allocation of funds within the federal governance setup. Weak areas in all relevant topics are identified in order to take action. The final success is that all citizens have access to world-class healthcare, even in small cities and rural areas. So here you see one map with higher infrastructure, where it's very easy to see where there is a lack of infrastructure. Another map is showing the family doctors per 1 lakh inhabitants. This is a little slow now, I'm sorry. And the last one is actually a map with all the hospitals in Germany and how much time it takes to reach these hospitals in a car. Blue means 20 minutes and all the other colors are less than 20 minutes. The second success factor is public spaces, and my home is my neighborhood. I'm showing you some images from my hometown in northern Germany and maps that show the importance of public spaces. I was wondering how COVID-19 attacks the urban immune system. Usually worldwide, the first measure in such pandemic times is to send the people home. This is a pretty old measure. It has already been done in 1918 during the Spanish flu. So this measure takes away the public space from the people. It is valid to say that COVID-19 attacks the most crucial part of our cities, the public space. And if the important physical distancing becomes social distancing, society has lost and COVID has won. That's why I also don't really like this term social distancing, and I'm wondering why we are still using this. To me as a planner, it is therefore to ask, how can we practice physical distancing and still be socially connected? What kind of spaces do we need for this? The answer is pretty clear. And not only the old European cities are guiding us. Public and private have to be well connected and have to be close to each other. The home that we send the citizens to in times of crisis has to be more than their 4 walls around them. It is the continuity of the private space into the public space, and the citizens' neighborhood and community are very important parts of what I consider as home. If we manage to connect the houses and the private plots and the public space in a continuous manner, the citizens can still have social interactions while maintaining physical distance. So the final success is that good public spaces as a continuum of the private houses make strong neighborhoods and communities. They are the backbone of a robust urban immune defense system. I am observing that a lot of German urban areas are enjoying this trump card at the moment. The third success factor is mixed land use at city and neighborhood level. I'm sharing with you a map of the neighborhood that I am staying at the moment in Delhi. So this is an example from India. This is Vasant Vihar. It is a big problem in the current time of a longer lockdown if people live in neighborhoods that are fully monofunctional and segregated. They will still require to move around long distances in order to get what they need. It becomes a hassle even for simple things like shopping, a service, or going to a park or kindergarten. It is therefore so important that the land use of any city and at neighborhood level is offering a good mixture of uses and a big variety of different activities. It is best to do this along with the citizens in an open participatory process, as they know best what their needs are. I feel that my neighborhood here in Delhi is already pretty well done in that regard. We have small shopping commercial centers and services, pocket parks for each area, and basic social services like schools, kindergartens, and health facilities. So the final success is that if it needs to lock people in such well-planned neighborhoods where they truly feel home, they are less likely to be lost, and they have all basic stuff to survive and to stay healthy and comfortable right around them. And they do not need to travel around the city and destroy the idea of physical distancing. I believe every one of you can rate your own area that you are staying in right now, considering those factors. And then my last success factor is a half visionary one: virtual public spaces for virtual cities. Problem that during lockdown, the communities are facing a lack of spaces to meet. No meeting means no exchange. No exchange means no community. I'm observing that urban communities in lockdown today have compensated this by using private virtual platforms like Facebook groups, WhatsApp groups, Instagram, YouTube channels, Zoom calls. All this is being used heavily in India, even by the public hand. For the time being, it seems to work, but it is risky if a full population is relying on such private platforms in such critical moments. Social and public interactions become vulnerable to attacks like fake news and others. And people and groups are left behind, as those platforms are not designed to reach. I strongly feel that it is time for cities to pay more attention to plan, design, and construct virtual public spaces for their citizens. It is the need of the hour to make such virtual public spaces easily accessible, simple, and safe to use. They should be designed in a way that they foster exchange among the citizens, and they should be designed in a way that they enable and empower the local economy, services, and commerce. Sure, we can learn a lot from the existing virtual private platforms that I already mentioned, but it is crucial that those spaces are resilient to fake news and external attacks. And it seems an important requirement to me that they are truly local. The final success could be that with such a robust extension of the physical built environment in the virtual space, our cities become less vulnerable during times of crisis. Public spaces become virtual. Citizens can still access not only important services of the local administration, but they can even access their local communities and private local services on this safe and open virtual space. So with this, I've come to an end. Thanks a lot for your attention, and I'm looking forward to your questions and the further discussion. Back to you, Sashwat and Manjari.
Thank you, Georg. Thank you for a very interesting presentation and highlighting the need of urban spaces, urban design, and green infrastructure in our cities. One of our